Hey guys, what's going on? So I haven't done a video in a very long time, and as much as I wanted to talk about this, I know that if I did talk about this, people would be asking like, when is this coming out? And the answer is either the next patch or the following patch. I look back at like some of the previous ones and I wanted to see how long it would take them to like release something, and I believe it's like 2 patches at max to where they release all of these things. You can fact check me on that if you really want to, but I feel like that's around the amount of time. Like whenever they say that they're going to do something, it's either in the next one or in the following one, and that's like 2 to 3 months of time. They posted this oh my god, they posted this on the 15th. It is currently the 22nd, and we have not heard anything about the next patch, the 31.0 patch, and so and it's been a while. Like and everything else that they've posted hasn't really mattered. This is a PvP, them talking about the Phantom mode. This is them talking about Pantheon. This is the spring marathon is over. News about regular events being easier because it's 4,000, even though they're taking out bells. Technogenic week. I was trying to make a video about this. Technogenic and Dark being both of those happening at the same time, and being the best one, which is headhunting, where three units get upgraded, or up to 3 units. Like if you only have 1 unit, only 1 unit gets upgraded. But the idea of having it be both Technogenic and Dark it opens up so many possibilities. And I tried a large quantity of decks, and I have not settled on a single deck. And anytime I made a deck that I liked, I would play 2 or 3 battles with it, and then I just immediately hate it because I go up against something, dumb. Or I go up against something that I feel like I should beat, and then I don't beat it. And then I'm just like, this deck is terrible. I'm trying something else. I've tried Blade Dancer. I've tried Treant. I've tried Banshee. I really like Banshee, and then I go up against like a Bard deck that does 500 billion damage, and I'm just like, I can only do 400 billion damage apparently, and apparently that's not good enough. Like just one of those. Like I just like everything that I was like doing to try to make this work. It just wasn't working for me. And so that's why I never did a video on that. Special offer from May 20th to the 22nd. Spring Marathon has ended. Technogenic Society, the content creator post, and then they did buy profitably, and they still haven't talked about 31.0, and that would be the thing that I would want to talk about. But because I wanted to give you an update as to why I haven't come out with a video, I guess I might as well talk about this, right? And so I think the easy thing to talk about is just this. They announced that Demon Hunter, Monk, and Inquisitor are all getting buffs, whatever that means. And then they are nerfing very specifically Blooming Dash on Blade Dancer. It is very obviously too good. It does insane damage and is a very easy deck to build. It has like all the pieces of that deck just exist. Gunslinger, Kobold, you can run a Knight statue instead of a Kobold if you want to do, because of Phantom mode. Phantom mode is all burst damage, so Knight statue might actually be better than a Kobold. The 15% on your Gunslinger and a Spear just isn't enough speed when you're going up against like a Knight statue, or a Knight statue variant. The extra damage does not beat out the extra speed that you're getting from the Knight statue. And so the Knight statue might actually be better in that deck. And it's very good. It's probably one of the top tier like non-event unit cards to run. And because of that, they want to nerf it. And then they're going to buff Demon Hunter, Monk, and Inquisitor. You guys know how I feel about buffing and nerfing cards. Most of the time it doesn't matter unless you completely rework an ability, like Scrapper needing 1 extra Scrapper hit, or Scrapper eat that they then changed back. functionally changing a unit. The Witch is the easiest example that I can use, where they functionally changed it to where you need to also level up your Witch. You can't just get 30 merges and put a level 1 Witch next to a thing and have full buff. Now it needs to also be a level 7 and you need 30 merges. That is a functional change that functionally changes how Witch works. And once they did that, a lot of decks stopped using it. And so unless they functionally change Demon Hunter, Monk, and Inquisitor, unless they change one of their abilities, unless they change how it works, unless they change a time, like an Inquisitor, like absorption time, or if they change the Monk activation time, or if they give it double activation, like you can activate it twice because of Phantom mode, unless they do something like that where it's a functional change, I don't think a percentage change is going to matter. Trapper is going to get talents at some point. That's very exciting because everybody has, begged for Trapper talents. Dragon Rift, I can't believe it's taken them this long for this to happen. There has not been a 4th floor. Once you finish 3rd floor, you're just stuck on 3rd floor. And it's been like that ever since they changed Dragon Rift to being a single player mode, which is the stupidest thing. They could have easily have let us go back and go into World 1 and gain rewards to work back to World 3 in order to get the Celestial Shards from World 3. They could have easily have done that, but they've decided to just leave it as a useless mode, and now they're going to add 1 floor, and once you beat floor 4, then it's just going to be a useless mode again. I feel like they really need to let you cycle through 1, 2, 3, and 4, and to get to farm Celestial Shards, and to get resources like that. I think that would be a good change, but I don't know if they're going to do that. New tactics. This is probably the thing that I'm the most excited for. They're changing summoning monsters. So Demon Hunter, Mari, things that summon monsters. And then there's also going to be a new unit that also summons monsters. So it's very weird how they worded it here. It says new summoner unit. So it's oh, is that a summoner rework? No. It is a new monster it's a new unit that summons monsters. I love summoning monsters. I love that as a concept. I loved Demonologist when it first came out. But it's just not good. It's not a good strategy. The strategy just doesn't work. Portal Mage also summons monsters. So they're gonna, change Portal Mage, the monsters that Portal Mage summons. The idea that they're reworking Mari to be something else. I'll just read this. Summon monsters will be reworked with major updates to their mechanics. Units that rely on the tactic will see their talents or even mechanics reworked. The Mari hero will be reworked to better support the strategy. A new unit is also coming, one that works especially well with Mari and gains power from summoned monsters. I loved this concept. As a way to overwhelm your opponent, but I don't know how strong they would need to be when you're going up against a Phoenix and a Genie and all of these things that have the ability to do just ridiculous damage. When they're just eating through hundreds of billions of health monsters, when they're getting trillion damage, you're watching a godlike Mike do murder through trillion damage bosses, 50 billion damage bosses. What would these summoned monsters, what would this mechanic need to be to where you're not just feeding them extra mana? I don't know how they would rework this. I don't know how they would make this so that it works how it should. I guess Hunter also summons monsters as well. It summons the boars. But the boars are just so weak that for the most part, what I've always equated summoning monsters to is it's a win more condition. Also Scrapper also, when you combine it, you can give them a slime. And what I've always equated that to is it's a win more condition. If you were already winning, summoning a monster helps you win even more. If they're already being overwhelmed by the health of the monsters of like the waves, like if they already can't kill the wave, then you summoning monsters just helps you win even more. Like you were already winning and now you get to win more, but it's not going to help you if you're behind. If you're behind and they're out damaging you and you know, like use your demonologists and you combine 2 cards to give them 1 monster, they're just going to murder that monster and not even care. And now you just gave them mana. And that's how I've always looked at it. So like if they're actually going to rework this mechanic, I'm very excited about that because I love summoning. I love the idea of summoning monsters. Whenever I can play like a necromancer, I think I've loved this ever since Diablo 2. The necromancer was always my favorite because I love the idea that you can just walk and your skeletons just do everything for you. I love that idea. That you can just summon a large quantity, like an army, and just like throw it at your opponent and win like that. I think that that's such a cool way to win. But yeah, like maybe this is going to be like the new toxic mechanic. Maybe instead of like a regular, you know, mechanic, maybe instead of like toxic, this is like the new quote unquote toxic mechanic. Instead of affecting their units, maybe every time you like merge a demonologist, you summon 30 units, right? Just 30 units gets dropped into, you know, like the middle of their field. Like something like that. Something to that effect would change all of this. Item faction switching is incredibly interesting. Being able to finally change your set bonus. However this mechanic works, it's probably definitely going to cost gems. If it costs any other regular currency like gold, it's not going to cost gold. But if it costs any regular currency, or if they completely like add a currency, because they would do that, they would add a currency to the paid season pass. Or it'll just straight up cost gems. The idea that you can switch it is very, very cool. Set upgrading, I'm not looking forward to that. I'll go into the wording on that. Additionally, you will gain the ability to upgrade set bonuses. That sounds very, what's it called? What's the word for that? Power creepy. It feels like the idea of power creep. Like if they added a level 16 to units and now your Inquisitor goes from doing 1,045 damage to 1,055 damage. But now you have to upgrade it to level 16 and then you get to upgrade it to level 17 and then you get to upgrade it to level 18 and you're getting like incremental advantage. That's called power creep. You will gain the ability to upgrade set bonuses feels very much like power creep. Power creep is also hammers. The way that you use hammers to reduce the cooldown on your hero ability, on your heroic item, that is also power creep. I'm not excited about that as a concept, especially if you're having to power creep each of your equipments. You're having to like upgrade a spear and then upgrade a growth tile and then upgrade an amulet of swiftness and then upgrade a chainmail and then upgrade, like power creeping all of your equipment feels crazy. And that's just another added layer of insanity to this, of time into this game. I don't really care about the clan and co-op game mode improvements. I don't care about new profile. So that was pretty much all I really wanted to talk about. I do think that there is a Banshee build that you could build. I think if you're going on, so what I was doing was this is the only thing that I wanted to talk about. Like it's the only one that I'm kind of confident in and not completely. If you want me to make a video about it, I will, but there are also not a lot of days left. So I don't know how much it matters. But if you are a Banshee player and you want to know, essentially it's, so it goes I think there's, what is it? Is it a 5x5 grid? or a 5x4. Is it a 5x4 grid? 2, 3, 4, 5. The 3 spots in the it's 3, 4. Yeah, it's 5 across. So in the A2, A3, A4 spot are your 3 Banshees. The reason why you put them there is it's obviously so that you don't have to use the activation on the Phantom, and so you're getting full value out of Phantom damage. And then as soon as the bosses launch, that's when you use your ability. And then in basically all the left side, the A1, A1, B1, C1 spots, you do Earth Elementals, and then on the opposite side, the C1, C2, C3, or no, what is it? 5 across. A5, B5, C5 spots. You do 3 Earth Elementals on that side, and then essentially in your center square, you leave spots for your kobolds, and that's it. And then you just run a gunslinger, and it's been working pretty well. Like it pushes. It goes for much longer than you'd think it would, because of your ability. You run like a mermaid. You can avoid a lot through a mermaid through just sheer luck alone. With a Bedlam and with like warlocks, it'll protect you. You're also getting protected because you have 4 seconds of boss activation negation. And I don't know. I think it works the most. Out of anything that I've tried, I am the most confident that works the best. But yeah, I guess that's it. I'm waiting for 31.0 to talk about literally anything. I knew that when 30.0 dropped, I wasn't gonna like have a lot to say about anything. And I still don't, honestly. That's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys next video.